10 years. I've lived here for 10 years, and in that time frame, I've realized so much has changed. I had this realization when I spoke with somebody about really the cost of what it was to buy something oceanfront 10 years ago versus today. It's incredible. It's incredible what's happened in that short period of time. So I'm headed right now to a 10-acre plot of land. I think it was 10 acres, give or take, where we used to ride dirt bikes just a few short years ago. And we had this place all to ourselves. And we'd come in here, we had a little track set up, and we'd rip around, and it was cool. And now, well, you can see in the background right behind me, that's 17 right up there. We're in Hampstead, by the way, but the growth here has been unbelievable. So when I moved here in 2015, the average price point of a home was $250,000. Today, in 2025, the average price point of a home is $520,000 right here in Hampstead. In Wilmington, oh my God, the changes we've seen in Wilmington and everything. The fact of the matter is most of the growth that is happening here is from migration. Wilmington itself is basically on a negative decline. So that growth rate from those who are indigenous, who've grown up here and lived here, that growth rate has come to a halt. It's actually gone down. It's actually in the negative. So the majority of everybody moving in here, the majority of the build and all of that, and the money coming in and the influx and all of that is coming from migration. And it's both a good thing and a bad thing. It's a bad thing because traffic is getting to be ridiculous. I've commented on that in many other videos. It's a good thing because boy, oh boy, does it give us opportunities. When we moved here in 2015, the food here, some places had really good food, but for the most part it's grown. The increase of privately owned, independent type pizza shops, coffee shops, boutique style stores, they're popping up left and right. And those are not franchises. Those are local people doing their thing, supporting the community. I digress. Let's reflect back on some things. Some of the changes I've seen since I moved here. Surf City, Topsail Beach. I live about 15 miles away from Surf City, Topsail Beach, and I live about 15 miles away from Wrightsville Beach. Surf City, when we got here, it had a little swing bridge. Little green, creaky, rusty swing bridge. And that thing was filled with charm. It screamed small town. All of these, by the way, are for rent. I mean, I really think that the idea of pushing people away from the ability to buy and pushing them into the situation of they have to rent, I think there's some truth to that statement, but that's another video, that's another time. So back to Surf City. What came to mind and what brought the idea of this video together was, somebody had asked me about Surf City. Can I buy an oceanfront home there for X dollars? And I started laughing. I said, no, absolutely not. But what's funny is when I moved here in 2015, I could have gotten an oceanfront property in Surf City, Topsail Beach, North Topsail, South, Topsail Beach itself. I could have gotten one for $450,000, $500,000. It's like 3 times the price now in just 10 years. 3 times the price. Do that math. So what was $500,000 is now $1.5 million. That's not a bad return. Wrightsville Beach, even worse. You could have bought an oceanfront property for $2.5 million. Now you're looking at 7.7 more, for the same property. That growth is incredible. The schools. We moved here to Hampstead specifically because at the time you could buy more property, you could buy a little bigger house for about the same price as Wilmington. But the school districts were all rated pretty highly, right? K through 12. We're all rated pretty highly. We didn't have to mix and match. One school's good, not the other school's bad type of thing. Since we've been here in 10 years, we've already seen a new school come into place up in Surf City, spinning off and reducing some of the population in the schools here in Hampstead. They're currently building off of 210, another school, I think it's a K through 8 school, to alleviate the pressure of what's happening here. It was funny, when we moved here, there were basically no apartment complexes, and now you're getting apartment complexes popping up left and right. The other thing is, I do want to mention this, and I'm talking right now about Hampstead because that's where my mind's at, but when we moved here, there were like, I don't know, Sawmill Grill, Jebby's, a couple other restaurants. Since then, we've seen Oval and Ale come about. We've seen the Little Bottle Company come about, which is owned by Wilmingwood, or maybe it's coupled or partnered with Wilmingwood. PT's Grill has come here, so you want a good burger, finally it's here. So like, things are starting to happen here that are lending itself to a better experience living here in Hampstead. traffic still sucks. But the idea behind that is the bypass, the Hampstead bypass, which will take you from Hampstead up by Topsail High School all the way down to Military Cutoff, greatly reducing that commuting time. But the bypass, like, what a major project, right? And that has to be done to alleviate the traffic. So we've seen that take place, and that's currently, being built, and it's in its infancy. The Military Cutoff portion is done. That allows us to go from 140, which 17140, into Wilmington pretty quickly. But it'll be really cool to see when that's finally done from Hampstead to Wilmington, how much traffic it actually alleviates off of 17. Guys, it's not all Northerners, it's not all Northeast. In fact, I think the largest population movement right now is, I think, is Florida to here, or from southern regions to here. And we have a lot of people coming from the West. And not all Northerners are mean and angry.
I'm not mean or angry.
Wilmington, when I moved here, I think the average income was $45,000, if I remember right. I am really pulling from memory here. I think it's somewhere in the area of $120,000 now, something like that for the average two income family. That's 60 grand a person on average. So that's a massive increase. And where did that money come from? It didn't come from the industry here, because there is no industry here. Although, check this out. With the migration of people and the growth that we're seeing in this area, guess what's coming here? Amazon, an Amazon fulfillment center. And it's gonna be right up off 421. It's gonna be basically between Wilmington and Pender County, New Hanover and Pender County. And it's gonna bring 1,000 plus jobs to the area. Overall, what is something like that going to do to the area? It's going to put this area in even more demand, in a higher demand, because people are going to want to be around a facility like that creates jobs, that is cutting edge. With that comes more migration, comes more cars, comes more traffic. So they're really working very hard on the roadway infrastructure, which it can't come fast enough. I mean, it's always, I think all of this, the bypass and all the different things they're doing in Wilmington to alleviate traffic, it's always a reactive type of thing. And I think nobody expected this place to grow at the rate that it grew. But the positive side of things, we've seen places be restored, like the Soda Pop District, which was sketch when I first moved here. Now it's filled with the coolest little coffee shops, pizza places, shopping, businesses, offices. You want to go there and enjoy yourself now. We finally got an amphitheater. May not be the greatest, it's an outdoor amphitheater, but I'll tell you what, there was really no place to go see music. We had the Greenfield Lake Amphitheater, and that's still a cool place to go and check out some music. But like when they put the amphitheater down at the end of the Riverwalk, Live Oak Pavilion it's called, that generated a lot more interest and excitement about the music scene here. So that's cool, it's a plus. There's a ton of breweries and restaurants to check out. Like, there's just so much now to do here. When I first moved here, you went downtown Wilmington, if you were there at night, you didn't really want to go past 3rd Street. It's all changing. But like the Riverwalk, right? We have one of the best Riverwalks in the country. I think it's 3 miles long. I can't remember exactly. Very cool though. There's tons of things to see and history to experience on it, Wilmington is filled with tons of history. We're driving up right now to the Intracoastal, and I don't know if we can get a shot of it, but holy macaroni and cheese. You wonder why people want to live here. I love this. The ocean here, Topsail Island, Wrightsville Beach. The water is blue, 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 and I know we've shown that in other videos. So I'm fortunate enough to have my office right next to the airport. The Wilmington International Airport is one of the fastest growing airports in the country. But to see all of the growth and all of the change taking place there, just the parking experience, and that growth, to the way you enter and exit the airport, they're doing it again in response to the incredible demand to move to this area. So in 10 years since I've been here, my taxes have more than doubled. I will tell you that. We did move down here thinking, yeah, taxes are great, because we were almost 20,000 deep a year in terms of taxes up in New York, but moved down here and our taxes at the time were like $1,200 a year. We're like, ugh. They're now $3,800 a year, something in that area, 39, 38, 39. So taxes have gone up, and you would expect that, right? I mean, with growth comes taxes. There was something else that I really wanted to touch on. I didn't even touch on the cargo district. I mean, that's a totally cool place to check out. In between 16th and 17th Street in Wilmington, where they took shipping containers and converted them into restaurants and tattoo parlors and shops, and it's a cool spot to go check out. 10 years ago, we'd go up to the beach and we'd park. Now we go to the beach and we pay. We pay $5 an hour, $25 a day, $80 a week, or we buy a season pass for $300. And at first everybody was, oh my God, I gotta pay for parking. But here's the reality of the situation. The erosion that takes place at the beaches, somebody's gotta pay to bring the sand back. And this helps to beautify the area, keep our beaches in a pristine condition. And it also helps to bring, again, revitalization to the beach areas. Is it a bad thing? No, it's a good thing. I know we don't want to pay for that, but how many of you pay $10 a month for Netflix, $10 a month for Prime, $10 a month for Disney Plus, and you don't watch half of that crap? So whatever. We're in Salters Haven right now, one of Hampstead's premier communities. This place, I remember when this place was nothing but, basically we come back here and ride our mountain bikes down here. It was fields and a couple of homes, and then at the bottom down here, right by the Intracoastal, was all trailers. And now you've got some of the coolest homes, some of the most amazing views of the Intracoastal. They put a marina in. Growth. This is growth. And like it or not, this is what's happening. Because we're fortunate enough, all of us, to live in this absolutely amazing area. So that's 10 years. There's plenty more. I didn't even touch on Leland or Brunswick County, which is the fastest growing county in North Carolina right now. A lot has changed. A lot has changed. Do I love it all? I do not. But I understand that that's progress. I wish it would be cool if we could have this all to ourselves and not have the influx of people. And I know I'm one of them. But listen, we're all migrants. We all came from somewhere else, right? None of us are indigenous to this area. But I appreciate the area. I am genuinely happy here. Oh, I didn't even touch on, Sin Space, the Hollywood East here, where all the movies are made, but another topic, another day. I want to thank you for hanging with me. I talked a lot in this video while driving around. And if you're still here, it means you are a glutton for punishment, listening to me drone on. Drop a comment, give me some feedback. Let me know if you think I'm crazy. Let me know if you need to see something else, if you have more questions. I appreciate each and every one of you. Until next time, I was told I have to continue saying peace, because I didn't in my last video. So until next time, peace.